Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for Monday. What are we? The 21st day of September 2020. So, a 3 energy on a Monday to help get you going. A little mind, body, spirit alignment, some catalytic energy. I don't know. I like to ease into Mondays, but that's just me. Well, blessings on Mabon. You can either have been celebrating it over the weekend. I think technically it's on Tuesday, but we kind of do like a dual day, Monday and Tuesday. At least I do, because you never really know when the equinox is going to happen unless you're paying attention. Um, it actually happens at 6:30 tomorrow morning. So if you're going to work some magic, you can kind of stand on the precipice of something new. And I did a little thing over on Patreon. It's locked for patrons, so you'd have to, sign up for a month or whatever, which is just a donation. You can decide what that is. I think the minimum amount is $1 or something for a month, and you can do whatever you want to there. But anyhow, there's I've pretty much gone back to. I was leaving a lot of stuff unlocked for everybody to see, but for the foreseeable future, I'm just going to go ahead and leave everything locked. And if someone wants to read it, they're going to have to sign up. And again, it can be monthly, or you can do it for a whole year. Whatever you want to do is fine. Anything is appreciated. It's just to offset the blog costs and all of that, like I do with a little bit of ad stuff on the blog. So I don't go crazy with that stuff, though. It's just to sort of help pay for blog costs, because it does cost some money to run a blog. You don't realize that, if you start out like on Google's bloggers, where I started out on, but then I moved to WordPress, and then the costs stayed low for a little while, but then you see all this stuff, you think, oh gosh, I need that, and you really do, security kinds of things. And so that's basically what I have on there, and that's why I need to do that. So anyhow, check that out if you want to. Other than that, the Esoteric Influences video is going to go up here. I did that, and we've got to go get some chicken feed this morning, so I'm going to wait till we get back before uploading everything. But in any event, let's go ahead and get started so my chickens can have something to eat this morning. Well, they have stuff for this morning. It's just tomorrow they might not. So anyway, the smoke has cleared somewhat here, so that's been a real blessing this weekend. We finally could see the sun and all of that. So we've been stuck at home here for over a week because of the smoke. We just haven't wanted to go out, in it any more than we've had to. So we're going to run out and do some grocery shopping and all of that this morning. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get started with today's reading. I'm going to go ahead and take the cards, and then we'll talk about them. And then when I'm done, we'll take a rune from the Elder Futhark bag, and then we'll close out with the Geomancy rune, which actually, that rune that we create is the one that begins the Geomancy shield chart that I include at the bottom of the Esoteric Influences for each day. I do a write-up that's different than what goes out in the newsletter. I add a geomancy reading to it. And so the one we do here will actually begin that. So anyhow, let's go ahead and take our cards and see what we have. If this is your first time here, welcome. I take the 13th one each time for randomness sake, and we begin with the Devil. Let's go ahead and see what the next card is. Ooh, the Ace of Wands. The beginnings of creativity and will. The spark of life. On this Mabon, during this time of Mabon, where it surrounds it's one of the harvest festivals, but it surrounds the autumn equinox, basically. And so, light time is the same as you have equal 12-12, right? And And you can basically think of it as a Degas moment, where you've come to one completion and another is beginning now. So the dark time is coming now, and the next holiday will be Samhain or Halloween, and then after that followed by Yule, and so we have our dark time, where we can reflect and we can let go of that which no longer serves, and all of that till spring comes and the light returns again. Well, we have the Six of Cups, shared abundance. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to leave it just as it is, and I'm not going to move the cards around here. Let's go ahead and talk about, normally, if I have a major card, I'm going to put that in the center, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. Let's talk about the Ace of Wands. Here we have the familiar theme in tarot of, let me see if I can get this so you can see the whole thing. The familiar theme of tarot of a hand reaching out from the clouds, and here they're a sketchy brown cloud, so it's really out of the unknown, holding a crude club, light extending from the hand itself. So you can think of that as the hand of spirit, with the light of spirit. You see some trees in the background, some small hills, maybe some mountains in the very background, way in the distance. But with the Ace of Wands, you're talking about the birth of creativity, passion, power, energy. Kind of help you get going on this 3-day little wand energy there. But where are we going to put that? Okay. In terms of how are we going to express our will? One way to do it would be in a service to self situation. Here we are a slave to desire with the devil. You see him with his little curved horns there and his wings, sort of a bat and goat-like figure, perched on just a little post there, with a ring with two chains attached, one attached to the neck of the woman and one attached to the neck of the man. You can think of that in terms of polarity, masculine and feminine polarity within. How do you maintain that balance? You see an as above, so below positioning with his hands like you do with the magician, only instead of a scroll, holding a scroll to spirit, you're seeing a fiery torch being pointed down to form. The woman has a pomegranate tail, and the man has an oak leaf for a tail. So you're looking at, again, the receptive presence versus the projective presence, and how you manage that in terms of desire. And with the Devil card, it's all about ego, and it's all about being a slave to desire. So, are you a slave to that in terms of your creativity today? Or are you living in service to others? You see the X right there, reminiscent of Gebo. And if you look at the chalices, what you see in terms of the shape are the beginnings of the Merkaba. If you can take those, if you can separate them out, and they're pointed, you got the points together, as they move this way, you then have a Merkaba, or soul vehicle. There, that's probably a better, there you go. Two triangles that begin apart, but then as they come together, they mesh and they become the Merkaba. But here you see one woman handing to another a golden chalice filled with flowers, a white lily in each one denoting purity, purity of motive, purity of expression. Cups is the water element, whereas wands is the fire element. And so here you're talking about shared abundance and compassion for others. You see her home behind her. It kind of looks like she's right there at the entrance to her home, and she's just sharing the abundance. Of course, during Mabon, why wouldn't she do that? just sharing her abundance with other people as they pass by. Random acts of kindness. The 6 is about higher self energy. The devil is about the lower self and service to self, basically. Whereas this reflects service to others. Let's not take another card. I don't think we need one. I think that this is the choice we make during this time of the equinox, where we can let go of perceptions that don't serve us. Life really is about manifested perception, manifested thought. Collectively, individually, however that happens. I think that, we have Hagalas for today. The Witch Rune. Transformation within a fixed framework. It's one of the Norn runes. It's the Norn rune of the past. So what you would do then during this time of Mabon, where during the equinox, if you did a ritual right at that moment at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, my time, then what you would do, one thing you could do would be to let go of the perceptions that have guided you thus far, that you've chosen just far, thus far. And then in that moment, release them and embrace the unfolding perception that's coming. You're not taking away everything. What can go forward with you will inform the new path forward. But whatever doesn't fit any longer, you need to let it go. And you can use this time, this moment of the equinox, to do that in a ritual that just sort of makes real that whole process for you. That's the beauty of ritual. It represents something, but it can symbolize the path forward for you. In terms of how you're going to express your will going forward, how you express that will. Is it going to be in service to self, or is it going to be in service to others? So as the dark time comes, you'll use that time to sort of act as it's sort of the void or the darkness that allows a genesis for something new to take hold. And with Hagalas, you can certainly do that. You have the energy today to do that. Let's take a look at the Geomancy rune and see what we have there. We're doing fine on time here today. Oh, well, we have Caput Draconis. Now, you have Caput and Kata. Kata is the tail of the dragon, considered an evil influence, but only because of karma. And, everybody gets confused about what karma is. But Caput is the head of the dragon. These represent the nodes of the moon. Caput represents the north node. Kata, the south node. Kata would just be upside down. That would be the tail of the dragon. But here you have the head of the dragon, or the north node influence. And the north node, what it influences is your path forward and what the future is holding. So again, perfect for, and if we had, and since the other is embodied within it, it's really another example of the equinox energy that's coming up here for us, to where we can transition into another phase, another set of perceptions, another expression of will in the from the perspective of the Ace of Wands. So that's kind of interesting. It all just sort of dovetailed together. I love when that happens, especially on a Monday. It just sort of gives me hope for the week, Anyway, I guess that's it. Do check out the videos over there and everything else that I write over there on the blog. Check out the post over there on Patreon. There's a link on the side panel to get to Patreon. I'll also include one underneath. Well, no, it is the stuff I have underneath this video. There's a link to everything, including the Patreon page. So if you want to check out that ritual that I did, it's just I do it very generally. Sometimes I get more specific, but at the end of the day, I just I'm just making suggestions, that other witches might follow. But in no way do I want to suggest that how I see things is the only way to see them, especially in terms of ritual or work in magic or what have you. So I try to stay fairly general and respect the fact that there are other traditions out there. I'm solitary, so I sort of have my own way of doing things, and I don't want to suggest that anyone else's is incorrect because it isn't. So, anyhow, just enjoy that if you like, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Be good to yourself, be good to one another. Wear a mask if you go out today around anyone at all, whether you're inside or out. As we're finding, the need to do that is quite great right now. And we'll see you tomorrow, and blessed be.